We've already talked about emotion a little bit, as in how you feel about negotiating generally. But in this chapter, we're going to talk about how feelings and thought processes influence negotiation. Some of these influences are conscious and some are unconscious. One of the most important concepts here is called anchoring. Think about a boat that wants to stay in one place. It throws an anchor out. The boat can drift a little bit, but it can't go any further than the length of rope that the anchor is attached to. Well, the anchor here is metaphorical, and it's usually a number. The first number put out there during a negotiation is sort of a tether. It influences what the parties think of as a starting point. So if I offer you a job for $35,000 a year, that's an anchor. You're probably not going to come back and ask for $100,000. It's important to note that anchors work even if they're ridiculous. And I mean really, really ridiculous. Think about your phone number. And what is the last digit of it? Now, if I asked you to make an estimate, like what is the population of Canada, your estimate is more likely to have that last digit of your phone number in it. And of course, there's no connection between the two numbers. They just happen to be floating around in your head at the same time. So one of the takeaways here is that if you have to be the first person to put a number out there, don't make it too low. Lots of times, employers will ask what kind of salary you're looking for. You don't want to appear too greedy, and so you say a number on the low end of your acceptable scale. Well, as far as the employer is concerned, that's now an anchor. And they'll probably think of that number as your upper end, not your lower. I advise against answering this question at all if you can. You can say something like, I'm looking for a salary that's reflective of my work experience and typical industry pay, but I need to know more about the duties and responsibilities of this position before I could possibly say what I would expect. And you can try saying that a couple different ways to find a way that works for you. But in general, let them be the one to put the anchor out. Another takeaway is to pay attention to an anchor when it's used. If the other party puts a number first, don't take it at face value. You see anchoring used quite obviously in infomercials. How much would you expect to pay for this knife set? $100? Well, it's yours for the low, low price of $19.99. You're supposed to be impressed at getting an amazing deal. And this is how stores like JCPenney or TJ Maxx make you feel like you're getting a great bargain. It doesn't matter if anyone actually paid the so-called full price or not. We're supposed to be impressed at how much we're saving. But by being aware the other party is trying to anchor you, you can step back and think for a minute. You can go out and Google the cost of a similar set of knives, for example, and discover that nobody's actually paying $100 for them. So the takeaway here is to be aware of when others are using anchors and to be careful how you use them yourself. If you do use them, make sure it's intentional and on purpose, and not just because you feel pressure to come up with a number.